Welcome to the show. We are tuned in for real life stories with real life people who have overcome adversity and healed their life. I am your host, Victoria Johnson, teacher trainer and coach trainer for the Heal Your Life certification program and best-selling author of Do That and Then Some: Transform Feelings of Less Than to More Than Enough. As Louise Hay always said, the point of power is in the present moment, so let's get started.
Well, hello, wonderful podcast listeners and YouTube viewers. It is wonderful to have you with us here today with my guest, Jana. Jana is a bright light, and you are going to get to meet her in just a moment. I want to introduce her to you with some of the things that she has accomplished in her life. Now, I know that she is a spectacular mother, and her journey started there, raising her kids, and also she's a certified Heal Your Life coach and teacher, which I'm very excited about because she has a very unique way of helping people. She is currently working on her Reiki Masters, and I love this certification, and I just learned this about Jana today. She is a Certified Stage Comedian Hypnotist. Now, I've always known that Jana's funny, but I didn't know that she had this designation of Certified Stage Comedian Hypnotist. So you can bet that we're going to start talking about that. Welcome to the show, Jana.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It is so great to have you. You know, I just want to dive right into the comedy aspect because, oh my gosh, how often is it that we take this healing business, this forgiveness, this overcoming our past traumas so seriously? It's almost like if we're not suffering, we're not doing it right. And, you know, I remember Louise Hay talking about how forgiveness doesn't have to be hard. It can be light and it can be fun. It can just be a decision. And, you know, one of the ways that she really encouraged us to love ourselves was to have fun. And it's really part of who we are naturally. You know, when you think of little kids and they're laughing and they're free, then life kind of comes along, takes it away from us, and you're bringing it back. You're bringing it back to us and giving us this great opportunity to laugh, and sometimes even laughing at our own troubles. Right. So I would be happy to just have you share with us how you first got into that. Jana's just having a moment here to have a cough. We were talking about tickles in our throat before we got on.
You know what? I really don't know how I got into it, to be honest with you. I think a girlfriend suggested that I take this course, and I really liked her. And I used to do all kinds of things with her. And then one course led to another, to another, to another. And then I went to see a fellow by the name of Rich Guzzi, who is a comedian stage hypnotist. And I got training through him as well. And he's really a character. But I've always loved humor. And I think there's so many tragedies and tragic events that go on that it's real easy to get yourself in a rut. And I know with some members of my family, they had difficulty with depression, and it's real easy to stay there. And I only allow myself to get into that state for so long, and then I have to come out of it because I don't want to stay there stuck. And so I use humor. I think I've got a pretty warped sense of humor at times. And I used to work for the RCMP, and sometimes you see some tragic stuff. So you need humor to get yourself through the day. And I know I can see the lighter side of things. And I really try to get a lot of positives out of negative situations. I really try to turn that around. And that's where Louise Hay comes in. You know, she's very, very positive, and she's just an absolute magician when it comes to turning things negative into a positive. So I think that was the attraction to Heal Your Life. Pardon me?
I can totally understand what you're saying with that because, you know, having met her and see her on stage, she just exuded joy. And she almost had a bit of a comedy act going on, with the things that she would, for example, pull out of her bra. It was like a storage compartment. She always had a mirror in there for the mirror work. Right? And so one thing that I've noticed with helping people through Heal Your Life work is when I introduce the mirror work, people often get nervous and they automatically kind of go to that laughter place, and they'll be like, oh, look at these wrinkles, or I'm having a bad hair day, or, whatever the case may be, because they're masking their feelings, right? So they're hiding behind the humor. And you have such a beautiful gift in that you use humor for healing. You don't use humor for hiding. And so how do you help people who are hiding behind the humor?
I guess just by talking with them. I think they learn to trust me just maybe by some of the questions I ask them. And I really take an interest in what they have to say because I want to get to the root of the problem. And I find sometimes by using humor, it can lighten a lot of situations where I guess they become more comfortable and they trust me. Yeah. Because everyone, absolutely everyone, as much as you can get into meditation and just being quiet, everyone can be hypnotized. It's just a matter of trust, whether you trust that individual or not.
So what is a typical hypnosis session like? So I'm assuming you do this in person and not online.
Yeah, I haven't done it online yet.
Mm-hmm. I like to come to your studio, and then do you talk about an issue or a problem first? What does that look like?
Well, I think I have an intake form, and I find out really what they want to work on, but that's usually surface stuff.
Yeah.
And then as you get talking to them, that's not really what they want to work on at all. They have, there's always something underlying. Same thing as when a little kid gets mad at you for something. That's not what they're mad at. They're mad at something else, and it's trying to find out what that something else is. Mm-hmm. And I do a block removal. And that's, I guess issues that we have in the past that we don't even realize are holding us back, or where our negative thinking comes from, or maybe from little quirks that our parents have passed down to us. And sometimes we don't realize what they are. So there's just a real gentle meditation that I use that that they use their own imagination. And I just kind of walk them through something, and they come across their own stuff that they want to get rid of and they fully know where they are and that they're with me. It's just a relaxation state that I can get them in, or they can get themselves into, that they allow themselves to go back and just take a look openly as to maybe some issues or obstacles that's preventing them from moving forward.
So for anyone who is considering having hypnosis done, either with yourself, first of all, you can reach Jana at thespiritualfx, so that's letter F, letter X.com, thespiritualfx.com. And her email is thespiritualfx@gmail.com. I'll put that in the show notes. But for getting back to my question, for those people who maybe are considering having hypnosis done for the first time, I really like what you said about they always know where they're at. They're always with you. It's just like a deep, deep relaxation. So people don't need to worry about being manipulated or being stuck in that situation.
No, I'm all about respect, and especially with women. I don't get them barking like a dog or quacking like a duck. And I had to think, did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
I'm all about respecting women. And I originally did that so I could go into senior homes. It was my way of providing a service. I wanted people to be able to find laughter and humor and do really clean stuff. I'm not into embarrassing women or doing something funky or off color. That's not me at all. But I want them to have fun doing other things, there's so many little things, but it will take their mind off of issues and problems and give them giggles,
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's truly about, like you said, the issue is not usually the issue. So maybe the issue is I want to lose 20 pounds, but the real issue is I don't think I'm worthy. and then you help them through that. Am I interpreting that correctly?
That's more Louise, but it kind of goes together. Sometimes maybe it's a remark that your mother has said or something that your mom's done, and you're able to see, maybe a boss got smart with you. Maybe it's, I'm going to cough. It's not wanting to talk, right?
Well, I'll just tell you about a situation that I had while you finish coughing there.
Thank you.
So I had a situation growing up where my mom would say to me quite often, well-meaning, of course, trying to instill a good work ethic in me. She would say, you never finish anything you start. You never finish anything you start. So I grew up to be a teenager and adult who never finished anything they started because I knew I was a failure. So why would I, right? Like I just knew I wasn't going to be able to finish. I didn't have any doubt in my mind. It was like I was programmed to quit. And so how would you help someone like me in that situation?
I think when you walk them through certain stages, they realize where those remarks came from and why they're stuck. And sometimes things will come up that they totally forgot about. And they realize, you know what, it's like going into a second or third marriage. You have baggage. And we carry baggage from years and years and years of just going through life. When you go through the hypnosis stage for block removals, you find out where these problems are and what's holding you back. Because when you go from one marriage to another, you haven't cleaned up that mess. Because you say, oh, you're just like my other husband or whatever.
Right.
But through the block removal, you get rid of that stuff. And you realize it doesn't serve you. And you realize what's been holding you back. And that's when you're really able to get into additional healing.
Well, I know you personally, Jana, so I can say that you are so incredibly trustworthy. And I'm sure that the people who are with you feel that safety and they feel that trust. And I look forward to you doing this work online as well, because there's just so many people around the world that you can help with those things. Like you said, the marriage issues, or for me, like that negative message from my past. And so many of us have these negative beliefs around money as well. And I know you have some Louise Hay techniques that you use with your Heal Your Life work around money blocks and manifesting. And you have shared with me that you're very good at manifesting, situations, or if you are needing finances for one particular project that through your belief system, you're able to manifest that. Can you kind of give a manifesting 101 class to the people watching and listening?
Oh my gosh. I guess it's just a matter of putting it out there and thinking positive. And even if it's a vision board, when you think it and you believe it, like they say, you can achieve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in your heart and your head and if it's on your mind, I think it's just that positive talking and just visualizing. I've heard so many wonderful things about vision boards. And the funniest thing is I had a little car that I used to have. And I thought, I don't know why I've got that up there, which is really cool. But I ended up getting a brand new car. I don't know how that happened.
Yes.
If you trust the universe and you trust yourself, and I believe I'm divinely guided. that if my heart's in the right place and my head's in the right place, only good can come of it. And to think positive no matter what happens. Even in terrible, tragic events, I have to believe that something really good's going to come of this.
Yes.
It's just our perspective.
It's so true. It's, the perception that goes along with things as well. And I love that you said, just put it out there and believe it's possible. And don't spend all your time trying to, it's one thing to say, okay, so let's say I'm going to manifest money for my rent next month, right? And this has happened and this has happened and these are uncertain times. So, it's probably not going to happen, but, I said it once. So, manifest. So affirmations don't work and I can't manifest, right? And so what you're saying is you actually just have to live in that energy of, you know what, it's going to all work out because I'm doing my part. I put it out there. I'm living in that vibration, that frequency, and it's not my job to figure out the how. And
Exactly. And it's surprising when you just trust. Just trust. It's amazing what can happen. And I don't know how it happens. It just happens.
That's so wonderful. And I believe it to be true. So, Jana, what do you have coming up that we can share with our listeners and viewers that they would be able to enjoy with you?
Well, I have a few courses in the works. I'm considering putting out a weight loss course and obviously Heal Your Life, a 5-week and a 10-week, and we let people choose.
Nice.
I'll have a complimentary session so that people can see what it's about and to see if they'd be interested in that. I want to put a course out for grief and loss. And I think with the situations going on nowadays, I think people could really use some fun, some humor, and to replace some of this negativity with something really worthwhile.
Yes, it's so true. Like you said, that perspective and depending on what circle we're in, the energy can be very heavy, and that you are providing these great opportunities for people to be able to still feel their feelings, but in a more lighthearted environment, and to really, as Louise would say, have fun. Have fun. And Jana, that's what you're all about. You're very deep, introspective, wise. You give terrific guidance, and to do it with joy is a beautiful gift. So I want to tell everyone again, your website, The Spiritual FX, that's the letter F and the letter X.com. Check out the show notes if you have any questions about that. The email will be there for Jana as well. Please do get in touch with her. I bet you could ask nice and talk her into working with you over the phone or through Zoom virtually. And she is, like I said, a certified and licensed Heal Your Life teacher and coach. She also, in addition to practicing hypnotism, also does Reiki treatments, and she will bring joy into your life, and she will be a loving and supportive person for you. So, Jana, thank you so much for being on the show. I've loved having you here.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I enjoyed it as well.
Wonderful.
Thank you for joining us today. If you would like to become an internationally certified Heal Your Life teacher and coach, please visit thetraining.ca. To be a guest on the show and share your story, please visit victoriajohnson.org. Thank you so much for joining us.